Chapter 3 A Wise Lesson. In a town on a remote island lived a God-fearing man whose wife could not have children. One day, however, she became pregnant, and her husband, rejoicing in his heart at the glad tidings, said,
"You will give birth to a son, who will be the comfort of our souls and the delight of our hearts. I will educate him and bring him up well, and he shall inherit my good name and increase my renown."
Thus spoke the happy potential father, but his wife replied, "You speak foolish words, for the future is unknown to you. How do you know that my childbirth is going to go well, that I shall give birth to a son and not to a daughter, that the child is going to live long, and that it is going to be robust and healthy? You should not have spoken such idle words and boasted, but left everything to God, who controls our destinies. It may befall you as it once befell a certain dervish." When her husband asked her what had happened to that dervish, she told him the following tale. There was once a dervish in the service of a king. The king used to give him a piece of cake and a bowl of honey daily. The dervish used to eat the cake and put the honey into a jar which he always carried upon his head. Honey, however, in those days was very expensive. One day the dervish, noticing that his jar was nearly full, thought of the high price his honey would fetch in the market.
"I am going to sell my honey for a piece of gold and buy 10 sheep, all of which is going to give birth to lambs, so that in the course of 1 year, I am going to have 20 sheep. Then for sure their number will steadily increase, and in 4 years I shall be the owner of 400 sheep. I shall then buy a cow and an ox, and acquire a piece of land. My cow will give birth to calves, the ox will be useful to me in ploughing my land, while the cows will provide me with milk. In 5 years' time, the number of my cattle will have increased considerably, and I shall be the possessor of great wealth. I shall then build a magnificent house, acquire slaves and maidservants, and marry a beautiful woman of noble descent. She will bear me a son, a robust and beautiful child. A lucky star will shine at the moment of his birth, and he will be happy and blessed, and bring honor to my name after my death. Should he, however, refuse to obey me, I will beat him with this stick, thus."
And the dervish was so caught up in his daydream that he raised his stick, which hit the jar and broke it. The jar of honey, along with his daydreams, was lost. "I have told you the story," continued the wife of the pious man, "just to give you a lesson that it is not wise to speak of things that are uncertain. Remember the words of King Solomon, who said, 'Do not boast yourself, for you do not know what will happen to you next.'"